today I'm going to be doing a cinnamon girl makeup tutorial. Morgan, what the So if you aren't on TikTok, one of the things that trends in makeup are these food-inspired makeup looks based on the season. So like strawberry girl makeup. Why can't I remember anything else? There's like latte makeup. Today we're doing cinnamon girl makeup, which essentially it is just like a warm brown look, monochromatic on the eyes, lips, and cheeks. Bonus points if it has a red undertone. So I'm gonna do my take on that. Now, what really took this trend off was Hailey Bieber did a campaign. She did like a cinnamon roll lip tint and she used a couple of her products. Now, as you know, Hailey Bieber is very much into more of a natural, your skin but better kind of look. So it was really, really natural, her look that kind of kicked off. But I'm gonna do my take on it, which is a little bit heavier. But I really was inspired to play with these warm red undertone colors because normally I run away from like a red undertone bronzer, so this was my opportunity to pull these out. I like to do these trending tutorials because they take me a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I don't necessarily reach for products that I'm comfortable with. I reach for products that are close to the color that I want to work with. So instead of grabbing for a product that I like, I'm grabbing for a product that's a color that I need, and it's just not always necessarily the products that I want to use. So I think this is really good for me to get outside of my comfort zone and to use other products, honestly. Let's get into it. Come a little bit too close for comfort so you can see what's going on here. My lips, they are getting dry, you guys. This weather in Maryland has really started to get nice and cold and dry, and my lips are suffering. Luckily, not my skin. My skin's been really good. I've been taking extra care to keep it hydrated. Oh, I just used the Fenty Skin, I love this little lip mask, Plush Pudding Lip Mask in Salted Caramel. It's just gonna sit on my lips for a bit. Now, Hailey Bieber is definitely the one that made this look kick off for this year. I know I saw some cinnamon girl makeup tutorials from last year, but her campaign for Rhode really made the tutorials start coming out. She does really glassy skin just based on the products that she has in her line. I'm not going to do it quite as glassy, but I was inspired. I thought it was a good time to pull this out. I haven't used this in a while, and I need to because it's very expensive. The Dior Forever Glow Star Filter I'm going to use as my base. You know, if you want to stick to the true semi-OG tutorial, you could always use the Rhode Peptide Glazing Milk. Is that what it's called? But look at this. Doesn't this give such a pretty glow to the skin? When I first reviewed it, I was a little underwhelmed by the glow it gives, but I think as the months have passed, I can appreciate more the glow that this gives. I'm using a Rare Beauty brush. I don't see a name on here, but I'm just using that to blend this out. This is very hydrating on this skin as well. So I thought that this would give a really pretty natural dew to the skin, and if you really want to do it truly Hailey Bieber style, you can kind of skip foundation altogether and just spot conceal. But that's not my jam, okay? Not my jam at all. But this did just add that pretty glowy filter to my skin. Now for foundation, I'm gonna do a little mixeroo of the It Cosmetics CC Nude Glow and just the original CC cream. No reason in particular. I just felt like using this as my foundation. I'm gonna try and keep it light, not too heavy, but I do want to get the coverage. And I'm mixing with the Nude Glow just to make the base a little bit dewier. So I'm just mixing here. I'm just gonna put where I want the most coverage, which for me is always my cheeks. And then I still have some left on my cap. So I'm using my It Cosmetics number 7 brush, and I'm just lightly going to blend this into my skin. This is way less foundation than I normally place on my face, but I don't want to put too much on because I want the glow from my Dior base to show through, so you can see that This is actually quite a good mix of formulas. Very pretty. Then with whatever's left, I'm looking for the holes on my face missing some product, which would be mostly right here around the jaw. That is a beautiful, fresh, glowy base. Okay, we're off to a good start. I'm gonna do my brows next. I'm gonna do a fluffier style brow, so I'm using the MAC Pro Locked Brow Gel. I trimmed my eyebrows really quickly yesterday, so I hope it made a difference. I don't love the applicator on this brow gel. The product itself is nice, but I hate this plastic applicator. It's just not flexible at all. It's kind of pokey too. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And then for concealer, no particular reason, I just wanted to use it. I pulled the Milk Makeup Concealer, which is an amazing concealer. I'm gonna try to go against my natural instincts and apply a little bit less than I normally would. BK Beauty A506. I like to focus the concealer here first because this is where I have the most darkness. And then with whatever's left, we'll sweep under the eye. Like, my coverage isn't even very light, but I'm still being careful to make sure I don't apply too much. And I like to balance my under eye concealer with a little bit of leftover on the face. I think I could use just a little bit more. Right, this side looks like it got more coverage. Well, this side looked like it got more coverage. Hopefully the brows have dried because I want to apply a brow pencil. I'm just going to use the Bang & Brunette from ColourPop. And what I like about putting down brow gel first is it requires minimal filling in with a pencil, I find. If the brow gel is really good at shaping the brows, I find that I need to spend less time using the pencil, but just adding a little bit of definition where it's needed, like normally towards the front of the brow, the arch, and the tail are where I need to focus on, which is kind of like the whole brow, but I swear it's less work. And I'm going with more of a natural-ish brow anyways, because even though I'm doing a heavier look than what Hailey Bieber has, and what this look kind of entails, I still want to keep that natural, healthy skin vibe. Okay, I pulled a few different color options to share with you in terms of the bronze, but the bronze is so important for this look. You pretty much want it everywhere. So one of my favorite red undertoned cream bronzers is the Chanel Le Beige, so I'm going to use this today. Another really good one, especially if you're a little bit deeper than me, is Bronzino Best Coast from Tower 28. This one has definitely a red undertone. And this one is less red, but it's quite warm, from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the #2 medium bronzer, which I might pull in if I feel like I need a little bit more definition. But we're going to use just the Chanel Le Beige for now. Now the key with this look is it's very monochromatic, so don't be afraid to over blend the product. But I want to start off with the more red-based bronzer first, just to get that overall bronze look to the skin. And to really enhance any monochromatic look, it helps to bring that same color into all aspects of the face. Like, I'm bringing it down the nose, underneath the chin. I'm going to take this brush, the small side on the IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm just going to blend this through the crease, and we're already getting such a good start on this cinnamony kind of look, just with the monochromaticness of that. Yeah, this product was perfect. If I wanted a little bit more definition, I'd go in with a bronzer with a little bit less red to it. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit of this Charlotte Tilbury. This is just more so to shape and snatch the face more. This still has a little bit of warmth to it, so it's still going to blend in seamlessly with the Chanel, but just to get a little bit more definition to the face. Now, the blush was the most important part to this look, and I thought I'd go ahead and use the Rhode because this really does give that vibe. I'm going to use Toasted Teddy of the Rhode Pocket Blush line, which looks intimidating, but it's very beautiful on the face. I'm using a 109 brush from BK Beauty, and I'm just keeping this towards the back of my cheek. I might layer on another blush color from Rhode, but that is the perfect color. So even though it looks intimidating, it's really pretty, especially if you're using a brush like me. This gives a more diffused application, 100%. And then if you want a little bit more depth to the cheek, I'm using the shade Freckle from Rhode. This one is probably my favorite of the line. This is a little bit brighter, but I'm just going to layer that closer towards the eye. And then with whatever is left on my brush, remember this is supposed to be super monochromatic. Going there. Now keep these blushes aside if you're using a cream blush, because we're going to use that on our lips as well. And I have to say, I love this Rhode formula in particular because it's very versatile. It even looks good on the lips. And a lot of cream blushes don't, but these are formula that do. Now, another cream blush recommendation I have for somebody with a deeper complexion, say Glow Sculpt in Bronze Glow, I think would be really good for this kind of look on somebody who's deeper than me. So I think we're good to do a little bit of dusting of powder on the skin. I'm going to keep the powder towards the center of my face. I'm using a very natural powder. This is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I'm going to use my Hourglass brush, and I'm just going to set the under eyes, and then right around here I'm the most porous, but I'm keeping the powder in the T-zone area so that the glow on the outskirts can still show through. And the thing that's really beautiful about this powder is as the day goes on, the glow is going to start to come through underneath the powder, but it's still going to be set. Like, it's not going to move around or anything. So this is a really expensive powder, but it's very high quality. It works super well with a glowy base. Now, if you want to continue working with adding more definition and depth to the face and more layering, you can go in now with powder bronzers. A couple that I chose. This one is a little bit more yellowy, but it still has some warmth to it. It's the Pat McGrath bronzer in Bronze Dawn. I think I'm going to use this on my eyes. And then another one is the Haus Labs Power Sculpt bronzer in Light Level 3. Actually, I might use this one instead. Yeah, I think I'm going to use House. So I'm getting just a little bit on a Rephr number 5 brush, and I'm really setting my hairline with this. So I'm not really bringing it forward too much. This is just where sweat develops, so I want that warmth there. And that's going to help with the monochromatic vibe because I'm going in with a Sigma E24 brush, and I'm putting this pretty much all over the eyes, and I'm really diffusing it out and blending it towards the bronzer. And I'm also lightly dusting that all over my eyelid and on the lower lash line as well, because this helps diffuse any creasing that will happen on the under eyes. So all over the lid and really buffer out. And then I really wanted to add more warm red tones on the eye. This is where I'm getting a little heavier with it because that's just my style. I'm taking a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame, Eyes to Mesmerize. I just got a fresh one in the mail. And I'm taking that same brush, just nice and fluffy, into the product because I don't want it too thick. If I'm being honest, I just want a light glaze of it. But this is such a pretty warm tone to it, reddish copper, but I just want to glaze this all over the eyelid, and I think this really complements the cinnamon style of look. Now this product does crease a little bit, so I do like to diffuse it out and keep the layers really thin. Then blend this out. And then on a pencil brush, this is a Rephr number 3. I'm lightly gonna line my lower lash line with this. And then if you do pick something more red, like Walk of No Shame for the eye, if you have brown eyes, red really makes both blue and brown eyes pop. Now for eyeliner, don't use black. If you want to stick with the vibes of the look, use a really dark brown that has a little bit of a red undertone. I'm going to layer a couple different ones that I thought would be fun. I'm starting off with the Bare Minerals Mineralist eyeliner in copper. Honestly, I just wanted to use this one. Hadn't used this color before, but I'm going to start off by lining this on the lash line all the way in. You see how that adds the most subtle but pretty definition? And I'm also taking this on the lower lash line, keeping it on the outer third, like so. And I'm gonna take my pencil brush and just blend that inwards. Ooh, honestly, using this copper eyeliner turned out prettier than I thought. And then this is a really pretty dark brown liner from Laura Mercier. It's their Caviar eyeliner pencil in Cocoa. This is dark brown, but it has a subtle red hue to it. I'm going to use this for a little bit more lift and depth to the eye. So I'm keeping it on the outer half. You see how that just deepened it up a little bit? And then I'm going to do a little baby wing. I'm taking an angled brush. This one is from Profusion. And I'm just blending this into the lash line and softening it. See the difference? I'm going to do the same to the other side. The wing was a personal choice, and I'm glad I went there with that. I'm going to prep my lashes. I haven't decided if I'm going to do falsies. I might do just a little bit because I can't help myself, but I'm going to give my lashes a chance with just mascara. So the mascara that I pulled is the Iris and Romeo mascara. No rhyme or reason why. I'm just going to quickly coat my lashes with this. And then I'm going to let my lashes dry, and then I'm going to curl them, and then I'm going to decide if we need to do a half lash, because it's definitely going to need to be half lash for this style of look, at least for my vision. But you know what, we might not, because this mascara is building up super nice. Yes, we're doing a false lash. I feel like my life has just come to me, because I'm filming this first thing in the morning, and up to this point, I was tired, but I'm back. Okay. I'm awake now. So I took literally an Ardell wispy and cut her right in half. This was the lash right here, cut in half. And I'm just gonna place it on the outer, not completely in the corner. How do I say this? To give my eye some lift, if you push it in just a little bit instead of going corner to corner, that can sometimes droop the eyes, especially if you have, I don't have down-turned eyes, but I have almond eyes. So obviously the highest point is the center of my eye. So if I put the longest corner of the Ardell lash in the lowest part of my eye, that can droop my eyes down. Okay. And then to make her look more natural, I'm taking lash curler and not pressing hard, but just pushing my natural lashes with the wispy lash. Do I like this? These lashes are longer than I remember. We're gonna go with it. And we are going to finish the lips. I wanted a brown that had a reddish warm tone to it. So I'm using MAC Strip Down, and if I want more warmth, I'm gonna go in with a warmer lip liner. But we'll start off with MAC, and I wanna see how I'm feeling. So I'm just gonna, that's a good color. The fun thing about doing color-inspired looks is just mixing a bunch of my different products to get the perfect color. Like, I love using multiple products at once. No, that's a really good color, but because I pulled it, not even necessary, I'm using Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Full Scale Rust. And I'm just gonna line the edges. And then again, since this kind of inspired the whole tutorial, I do have the Cinnamon Roll Peptide Lip Tint from Rhode, which doesn't have much of a tint, but I love a food-themed item, okay? And so this has a little bit of shimmer in it. Well, actually that does have a tint. when you thin it out, it loses it, but... And this does have a subtle cinnamon roll kind of caramely scent to it. Doesn't taste like it though, I wish it did. That's the perfect lip for this look, isn't it? It is. So I definitely feel like we need just a little bit more toasted teddy to get that full monochrome vibe. I think we lost some of that color a little bit when I set. Yeah, look at the difference between the sides. And yes, this cream blush is amazing over powder, and I just realized I did not put this on my lips. This was supposed to go before the lip tint. Too late now. It's fine. It still looks good without it. And then if you really want to go authentic with this look, you can add some faux freckles as well. Should I? I'll do like a little bit. This might ruin my look. But just across the nose, you know? And then if you just push it in with your finger, it doesn't look quite so crazy. I almost tried to rub that away, but that's like my real one. And here we go. This is my take on the viral cinnamon roll girl makeup tutorial. Mine is definitely a little heavier on the eyes, but that's how I like it. And overall, I just think this is a really warm, cozy, toasty look that I think is so appropriate for the fall, winter, holiday time. It's still quite natural, but it gives like a sultry look. I'm really liking it. As somebody who doesn't love warm tones, I think this is really pretty for the occasion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little makeup tutorial. I don't do them very often, but I just wanted to try this makeup trend, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So if you give this makeup look a try, let me know. I will have all of the products that I use down below, as well as my other color suggestions. If you have any other colors in your makeup collection that you think would work well for this tutorial, let me know down below, because I might not have it, but you might and somebody else might, so it will help another person that you think would work with this vibe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed the makeup tutorial. I don't do them often, as I said before, but it is fun to get one up every now and then. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel for more, because it is December, aka Vlogmas, that I'm unofficially doing. So make sure you subscribe for those almost daily uploads, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, have a good one.